And the loyalty ladder is simple. It has 5 rungs. And every single person out there in your marketplace is on one of these 5 rungs. What you're striving for is for conversion. You're trying to convert people up the ladder to get as many people to the top of the ladder as possible. Let's start at the bottom. The bottom rung of the ladder is for suspects. And there are a lot of suspects out there. Will it give an advisor a good return on their investment of time, money, energy, effort, lung capacity, talking to suspects? Yes or no? Absolutely not. We still see advisors who are faked out. They are faked out because they've yet to figure out the difference between the suspect and the next rung of the ladder, which is a prospect. There is a huge distinction. And I can define what a prospect is using one word. I mean, this word is worth an MBA in marketing. The word is predisposition. A prospect is someone who is predisposed. Now, predisposed to what? What does that ultimately mean? It means they've been influenced in advance of you ever talking to them. And they have a high degree of self-motivation. Self-motivation. You know, we keep saying to our clients, when it comes to prospects, you can't want it more than they do. Wouldn't it be great if every prospect you ever talked to had such an incredibly high degree of self-motivation? Wouldn't that be great? Well, as you know, there's 2 types of, approaches here. The most predisposed prospect is somebody who contacts you, right? It's an inbound call, right? You're in your office, your phone rings. It's one of your favorite clients calling you on behalf of a friend saying, hey, look, I know you're busy. You got to do me a favor, though. I was at a barbecue with a friend. He's just sold his business. He thinks his advisor's in way over his head. He's got all these issues that his accountant has got him freaked out about. I know you're busy. I don't even know if you're accepting new clients, but do me a favor. Talk to my buddy. Does it get much better than that? Or you're in your office and your phone rings and it's a complete stranger you've never met saying, hey, you don't know me, but I've just inherited some money and a good friend of mine's apparently your client. She's told me to call you. Does it get much better than that? This is the law of attraction. Attracting this as opposed to chasing. Remember, when you push, you repel. What you chase often eludes you. We want to attract this with more frequency. It's called inbound. And as I was mentioning, there are 2 forms of phone calls. There's inbound and outbound. Inbound's when your phone rings. Outbound's when you dial the phone and make it ring somewhere else. And I'm sure you're all saddened when I tell you that nor in my little chat am I going to talk about cold calling. Some people like cold calling, which is bizarre. Some people defend it. They say to me, what are you talking about? It's a great way to build a business. Yeah, you can also cut down a tree with a hammer. I mean, if you think about it, any expenditure of effort is going to get you some form of return. We are trying to make ourselves more attractive to the marketplace to increase the frequency of our phone ringing with as many self-motivated people as we can. That's the distinction between a prospect and a suspect. But let me keep going up the ladder here and you'll see how this will all come together. Because once you've got your prospects in your sight, you want to convert them to at least the next rung. And the next rung is for customers. Now here's where it gets very interesting for an established advisor. Why do I say at least a customer? Because there is a profound difference between a customer and the next rung in the ladder, which is a client. A client is somebody who is exclusive to you. Every cent they've got, every need that they have, they empower you. Full empowerment. You are their personal CFO. That's a client. A customer is somebody, you've got a portion of their business, they have another portion down the road. And still to this day, one of my favorite questions to ask a financial advisor, I'll say, okay, you've got 500 clients. And how many of them are truly and exclusively yours? More often than not, we'll see that there exists so much opportunity leakage right here. There's so much opportunity to squeeze more juice out of the orange, for lack of a better term. For some advisors, their MVPs aren't even here. They're right here. But the advisor is yet to create a compelling, persuasive way to convey his or her full array of offerings, but positioned as a service to the client, not as a benefit to the advisor. Again, that's the difference between salesmanship and stewardship. Is it possible right now in your business you have some customers? Yes or no? Okay, we're going to talk about that in great detail. But that's not even my point. Thankfully, I've got a point. Here it is. And that is not to get fixated on how many clients you've got. The value of your business has virtually nothing to do with how many clients you've got. It has everything to do with how many advocates you've got. Advocates. Now that's where the value is. And you all know what an advocate is. An advocate is somebody who thinks you walk on water. They love you. They're a joy to work with. Your chemistry is immense. They're fiercely loyal. They empower you fully. And best of all, they brag about you to anybody who will listen. And I know as I'm saying this, a number of you are thinking of your advocates right now. You've all got 5, 10, 15 of them. Let me ask you this. Based on the rule of 52 and some of this other information, what would happen to your business if you had 150 advocates? What would happen?